There was a time I didn't know how much longer I could hold on. Nights where the silence screamed. Mornings when getting out of bed felt like a mountain I couldn't climb. I smiled, but inside I was unraveling. No one knew how close I was to giving up. God says, "Beloved, the storm is almost over. What you're facing is not a punishment. It's a passage, a holy refining. I know the weight on your chest, the tears you cry in secret, but I have never left you, not for a second. I started to question everything. Why is this happening to me? What did I do wrong?" But somewhere between the brokenness and the silence, I began to sense something sacred. Not loud, not dramatic, just quiet assurance. God says, "I am with you in the middle of the storm. I haven't abandoned you. I'm strengthening you. I'm teaching you to trust me when you can't see, to walk by faith, not by sight." I realized maybe this wasn't about breaking me. Maybe it was about making me, shaping me, preparing me for something I can't yet see. And suddenly, I wasn't just surviving. I was learning to breathe again in the middle of the storm. God says, "You're closer than you think. The breakthrough is near. The healing has already begun. The storm is almost over." I used to think storms only came when I did something wrong. That pain was a sign I was off course. But now I understand. Some storms don't come to destroy. They come to reveal, to show me where I still clung to fear, where I still doubted God's love, where I trusted my own strength more than His grace. God says, "Beloved, I have allowed this storm not to punish you, but to lead you deeper into me. In the dark, you've looked for my light and found it. In the winds, you've heard my whisper. And in the chaos, I've been shaping your peace." I remember the moment I finally let go. Not because I had it all figured out, but because I was too tired to keep pretending I could fix everything. And in that moment, something shifted. It wasn't the end of the storm, but the beginning of my surrender. God says, "When you are weak, I am strong. When your knees tremble, I carry you." You don't need to have all the answers. You only need to hold on to me. The truth is, I didn't need everything to change around me. I just needed to know I wasn't alone in the middle of it. And God, He was there. Not just watching me from a distance, but holding me, weeping with me, guiding me even when I couldn't see one step ahead. God says, "I'm building something in you the storm can't destroy. You may feel shaken, but your foundation is in me. And what I build in secret, I will reveal in glory." And so I kept walking, some days limping, some days crawling. But I didn't stop, because something inside me began to believe. The storm wasn't forever, and on the other side was something more beautiful than I ever imagined. I didn't notice it at first, but the rain wasn't falling as hard. The winds weren't as loud, and the silence, it no longer felt empty. It felt holy. Something was changing, not just around me, but inside me. God says, "You've walked through fire and flood, but they did not consume you. You are still here, and that is no accident. You've been carried by my grace, every step, every tear, every silent night." I began to understand what real strength looked like. Not the kind that pushes through with clenched fists, but the kind that falls apart in God's presence and still chooses to trust. Real strength is choosing hope when everything around you tells you to give up. God says, "My child, the night may feel long, but dawn is already breaking. I'm restoring what was stolen. I'm healing what was broken. I'm bringing beauty from ashes, even now." The storm didn't end with a loud announcement. There was no dramatic moment, no flashing sign, just peace. A deep, sacred peace that settled like morning dew on the soul. God says, "You don't have to understand the why. You only need to trust my heart. I am writing a story far greater than the pain you've walked through. And your story isn't over yet. If you're still in the storm, I want you to know there's light breaking through the clouds. You may not see it yet, but it's coming. I've tasted the first drops of sunlight, and I promise you, hope is real. Peace is real. He is real. Looking back now, I don't know how I made it through, but I did. Not because I was strong, but because grace held me when I had nothing left. The storm didn't break me. It uncovered me. It peeled away everything false and left only what was real. My need for Him, my hunger for His presence, my trust deepened by every tear. God says, the storm was never meant to destroy you. It was the path to deeper communion with me. You thought it was the end, but it was only the beginning of a more intimate, unshakable faith. I carry scars now, but they're not signs of defeat. They're reminders of survival. Proof that even when I was drowning, God never let go. I used to be afraid of storms. Now I know sometimes the storm is how He carries us home. God says, the storm is almost over, and what waits on the other side is more than you asked for. Joy is coming. Restoration is coming. Your soul will sing again. So if you're still walking through the wind and the rain, don't give up. Don't lose hope. There is purpose in this season. There is a hand holding yours, even when you can't feel it. And on the other side, there is light. There is healing. There is the gentle voice of God, whispering, God says, well done, my child. You didn't give up. Now come, step into the peace I've prepared for you. Shastwat-Lin, if you feel comforted, share this video with someone who needs a ray of light in the middle of their storm. Subscribe to the channel for more weekly whispers from the heart of God.